One of the big takeaways that I've had lately in terms of finding the very best staff and, just incredible people to get to work with has a lot of has come from our Chief Results Officer, Leslie Orlaza, because Leslie's always talking about not just finding people locally or regionally or even nationally, but thinking internationally about who's the best person for the project that you have, whether that's a part-time, like a fractional kind of person, or a temporary person, or a person that you're going to have a long-term but in a part-time position, or whether that's somebody full-time. Get the best people you possibly can from wherever in the world they need to come from. I was having a terrible time finding enough people for our growth in the United States. And so Leslie, coming from working for lots of really big corporations like LexisNexis and other really large corporations, she'd done a lot of sourcing and hiring for these companies of people, whether they were in the US, Canada, England, or people from the Philippines, which is where she happens to be from, bringing in the right people for the right position. And what we've discovered is there's these amazing people all over the world waiting for their big chance to work with a company like ours, thank heavens, or yours, and where sometimes, it's not cost prohibitive. You're also not going to run into what I ran into a lot in the US, which is getting these great people, training them like crazy, only to see some of these larger companies with the big budgets or the big name or big cachet kind of poach them away from us. So sometimes you have to look at kind of long term, what are going to be the best strategies for finding people that want to be loyal to your company and where that makes sense for them from a financial standpoint, from a cost of living standpoint, and just from a lifestyle standpoint. We were lucky enough to get Eunice Reyes, and also we now have her husband, Joseph Reyes. He does all of our video production, which have you seen it? He does all the podcasts. They do a podcast launch for us. They do our podcasts internally, and they also do podcast launching and lots of social media and video and TikTok and all that for lots of other clients. Well, these guys are incredibly talented. They were trained by some of the big corporations that are in the Philippines as well. They happen to come from there as well. And they got really tired of having to, be in two different places in two different islands of the Philippines so that they didn't see each other for days on end and wanted to be able to work from home. Well, we snapped them up, of course, because they're fantastic. And they started off kind of working part-time and then worked their way into being full-time, both of them for us. And now we also have Bernadette on that creative team. But, so there are a lot of people where it makes sense from a family standpoint, or they may make more money with you than they would for some of those big companies that are trying to take advantage of folks that don't have as many opportunities in other places in the world. So just realize the whole world's a small town, and take Leslie Orlaza, our Chief Results Officer, and also does a lot of the project planning and whatnot, as you may know if you work with us already. But take her advice and, don't wait to the last minute to get some staff and to get some help. Don't wait till you're overfull. She's forever saying, let's get people before we need them. We're growing like crazy right now. And so she's forever saying, okay, we need to get another person, and we need another part-time person, or an as-needed person, or we need we made Bernadette full-time recently. So we're getting another website person to do the web design of all the different clients that we have that need need a great web designer, social media, all these things that we do, or lead generation, all that stuff. So if you need people who do all those things, we do some of that internally, which you're welcome to talk to us about that. But if you want your own person, Leslie has her own division now, and she can source somebody who will be the answer to a prayer for you and an answer to a prayer for them. To get to work with you. So if something you've been thinking about, and if $8 or $10 or $12 an hour seems more to your budget to get somebody with 3 or 4 times the experience than you can get maybe in the US, Canada, and England. I mean, if you can find somebody locally, nationally, good for you. That is fantastic. But if you're having trouble like we were, maybe give other people in other parts of the world a big chance to grow with you. So it's something to think about, and something that's been, it's a personal passion of mine. Is you might be able to change a life, and that life might be yours and the life of your company, and it might be somebody else who's really, really privileged to get to work with you. So talk to Leslie. Her info will be down below. And if you want to know more about how that works and how to hire people and how to pay them overseas and how to, have the access to different things, passwords and all, she can explain all of that to you. But boy, it's a lot easier than you think, and it can have a powerful impact on how much work you can take, how much good you can do in the world. So thank you so much. And you know my theory. I think you should double your business, double your impact, and change the world and get the people to help you do all three of those things for sure. Talk to Leslie. She'll help you.